I'm Jay Goldberg with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. Recently, the CTF put out an online ebook addressing the concerns that we have about Bill C-11, which we call the Trudeau government censorship bill. There's a lot of big concerns to be had, but I wanted to record this to talk about how C-11 could impact you in your day-to-day life. Do you like to go on Netflix for date night? I know my wife and I do. Well, this is actually going to impact you because of outdated CRTC rules. So here's the deal. The CRTC doesn't really know what should be considered Canadian and what shouldn't be. There's a great series based on Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale, and of course she's a famous Canadian author, but it's not considered to be Canadian content because of where it was produced. At the same time, there's another show called Gotta Love Trump. It's a biopic of the Donald Trump presidency, and it is considered to be Canadian because a few scenes were shot in British Columbia. So clearly the CRTC doesn't even know how or have the right method for discovering or deciding what should be or shouldn't be considered Canadian content. And if they're not doing that now, imagine if the CRTC is put in charge of deciding what is pushed to us online and what isn't. They might not even be pushing content that actually should be considered to be Canadian. So if they're so incompetent now, why would we give them way more power? Here's the second way it could impact you. If you have a favorite show in India or South Korea, for example, you like to watch things from abroad, your ability to watch that show, it could be impacted by Bill C-11, because Bill C-11 would force foreign content providers to follow all kinds of new rules and regulations in order to enter the Canadian market. Now, some providers might just block the Canadian market altogether. We already have that. Hulu, for example, which is a great streaming service that I think a lot of us would like to access, you can't have it in Canada. That's why we can't keep up with the Kardashians anymore. We don't have access to it. We could end up having a whole bunch of other services block Canada simply because they don't want to follow all of Canada's cumbersome rules. Here's a third way it could impact you. If you have a YouTube channel that has original Canadian content, Bill C-11 could actually hurt your ability to track viewers outside of Canada. You might ask how? Well, under Bill C-11, YouTube would be forced by the CRTC to promote your channel to people who aren't even interested in your content just because it's Canadian. But then YouTube would see that you have lower click rates, and they would take this as a sign that your content is not a winner with viewers. So then YouTube would deprioritize your content in markets outside of Canada. So this would hurt you more than it would help you as a small-time creator. Those are three ways Bill C-11 could impact you in your day-to-day life. Bill C-11 is a dangerous bill. We call it a government censorship bill, and it is. I would encourage you to go to www.taxpayer.com, get a copy of our ebook, and sign our petition, because Bill C-11 is dangerous, and we need to make sure that Bill C-11 doesn't get through the Senate and never becomes law.